Hello, and welcome to the Pest Control Marketing Podcast with your host, me, Hal Coleman, uncensored and unplugged. Pay attention, take lots of notes, because you're going to find out exactly how to get more new customers, more referrals, and grow your business.
Hal Coleman has been active in the pest control industry for over 40 years, including owning and operating his own successful pest control business for 18 years. He now devotes his time to helping other PCOs and other WCOs double, triple, and even quadruple their businesses faster than they ever imagined. Be sure to check out his website, pestcontrolmarketer.com. For more information about Hal's coaching program, you can reach him at 770-993-0004 or email him hal@halcoleman.com. Mike Stewart is known as the Internet audio and video guy. Since the birth of the Internet, Mike has been showing small business owners how to get more new customers, increase their sales, and grow their businesses online using audio and video, now with iPhones and Android phones. For more information about Mike's coaching program and his online training courses, visit MikeStewartCoaching.com or email him mike@internetaudioguide.com.
Well, hello, folks. This is Hal Coleman here with another episode of the Pest Control Marketing Podcast. I'm here with my good friend and associate, Mike Stewart. I am Mr. Offline. He is Mr. Online. And right now, he is on the line, aren't you?
I'm online right here. You know, it's amazing what online that you are setting in Roswell, Georgia. I'm setting in Nashville, Tennessee, and it's like we're in the studio here together. Just amazing what technology, online technology, will allow a bunch of offline buddies do on an afternoon. So I'm tickled you're here, and I'm tickled to. What do you want to talk about today in the online offline world that we love?
Well, let me tell you what I want to do. I want to tell you what I want to do. How's that?
You're going to tell me what you... Wait a minute. You're going.
I'm going to
what
tell
you want to do
I'm
is you
going
want
to tell you what I'm going to do.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to tell you.
Well, tell me what you're going to do.
And the whole subject here is telling your customers what you're going to do.
Oh.
You know, when I years ago started doing a lot of speaking and gradually went into workshops, one of the things that you do workshops both online and offline as well as I do, and one of the formulas we go by is when you get up in front of a group, you tell them what you're going to tell them, and then you tell them, and then you tell them what you told them.
Yeah.
That's the secret formula that makes it work, that makes it stick in their head and keeps them on track and lets them walk away with a good solid bit of information that they can go out and implement. So in our business in pest control, when we're out servicing homes, doing termite work, doing pest control work, doing wildlife work, nuisance animal control, it's very important that we tell them what we're going to do and then do it and then tell them what we did. Now, a prime example of that was years ago, I had a technician who worked for me, and we'll call him Bob. I don't want to use any names on here, but we'll call him Bob. And so I bought these extendable telescoping spider web brooms. We call them Websters or web brooms. It's round brush on the end. You can screw that thing out to about 18 feet, to get spider webs down with. And I said, all right, guys, I said, make sure that when you go into somebody's home that you go in and get their spider webs down in the house, especially if they got a vaulted ceiling or some area that they can't, up in a stairwell where they can't get to. Just go around and ask, especially if the lady's home, say, you got any spider webs that you know about you'd like for me to get down? And they're like, oh, yeah, follow me. There's this one that's driving me crazy. So they love that. So, Elaine, my bookkeeper,
mm-hmm.
and you met her years ago, and I think she did some work for you. And Elaine was a pest control customer of mine. She had been with us for about 10 years. And Bob had been servicing her house for about 5 years. So Elaine and her husband were out to dinner with Lynn and I one night, and we got around to talking about pest control. And I said, I don't know what I said about. I think maybe I saw a spider web up in the roof of the the ceiling of the restaurant. And I mentioned, she said, "Oh God, those things drive me crazy." She said, "Isn't there some way that we could get spider webs down for people?" And that's when she was working for me. And I said, "Well, we do get spider webs down for people." She said, "We do?" I said, "Well, yes." I said, "When Bob comes out to your house every quarter," I said, "does he not get down your spider webs?" She said, "Well, I've never seen him do it. That would be great. I'd love for him to do it." I said, "Well, he's supposed to be doing it." She said, "Well, I didn't know that." So the next morning I go in and I talk to Bob. I say, "Listen, when you go out to people's homes, you get down the spider webs, don't you?" He said, "Oh, yeah, yeah." I said, "When you go to Elaine's house, do you get down all her spider webs?" He said, "Oh, absolutely, every time." I said, "Well, she doesn't know that you do that." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, we were out to dinner last night, and I told her we get down spider webs, and she said she'd never seen you get down a spider web." He said, "Well, she's probably never seen me do it because she's always sitting in there in her office doing stuff and on the computer." And he said, "I don't want to disturb her, so I usually just don't disturb her. I just tell her I'm leaving when I get done." I said, "Oh, my gosh." I said, "So, look, we're doing this great service for her and been doing it for her for 5 years, getting down these spider webs, and she doesn't even know you do it." And he's like, "Yeah, I guess." So I said, "From now on, tell people what you do." She didn't know that value was in her service, and it was extremely valuable to her. So when you go out to service a home, tell the people what you're going to do. That way they see the value in it. Give them the details. I used to work for a company doing annual termite renewal inspections, and a lot of the homes had crawl spaces. I mean, I did hundreds and hundreds of inspections every year, and a lot of those homes had crawl spaces that were damp, and they had mold and mildew growing in there, and they needed to have some polyethylene vapor barrier put down on that moisture because, I knew some of the people said they had allergies in the house, and they get a pair of shoes out of the closet that they hadn't worn in a while, leather shoes, and they had mold and mildew. And I said, "Yeah," I said, "it's coming from your wet crawl space." So I would say, you need to put polyethylene, you need a vapor barrier under your home. And they're like, "What's that?" I said, "We just put 4 mil polyethylene down, cover the soil under there, and that way that moisture condenses under that polyethylene and it doesn't come on up through your floors." And they said, "Who can I get to do that?" I said, "Well, we can do it for you." And they said, "How much have you charged?" I said, "We charge $250 to do it on your house." $250? Man, if I can go to Home Depot and buy a roll of polyethylene for $12 and you're going to charge me $250 for that? I said, "Well, that's what we charge." "No, thanks. I'll do that myself." "Okay, you do it yourself." Never talk to him again about it. So I wasn't selling any vapor barrier jobs, obviously. So I changed my strategy. I told them they didn't need it. They'd say, "You got moisture under there. You need polyethylene vapor barrier." And they'd say, "Well, who can I get to do that?" I said, "Well, we do it, but you don't need us to do it." I said, "You can do it yourself." "Oh, really?" I said, "Yeah, just go over to Home Depot, get a $12 roll of 4 mil polyethylene, bring it home." I said, "You need to pick up a pair of knee pads while you're over there, too, because you're going to do a lot of crawling." And I said, "But when you come home, go under the crawl space, measure everything, and then come out in the yard and unroll the polyethylene, spread it all out, cut it, roll it up." And I would never, ever get to the end of the explanation before they would say, "My God, I can't do it. What do y'all charge to do it?" I said, "Well, we charge $250. "Oh, well, I'd rather get y'all to do it. Y'all do it. Y'all do it." So it's just telling them what has to be done in detail. You see, when they didn't know, then they thought I was trying to rip them off for $250. Mm-hmm. But when I told them exactly what we were going to do and how it had to be done, they realized, wow, these people earn their money, And so always tell them exactly what you're going to do and then do it. And then go back and tell them that you did it. Tell them what you've done. If you will do that, they will always see the value in your service, and they'll never think that they're just paying you for nothing. They'll always appreciate what you do and the hard work you put in, and they'll always feel like they're getting a big bang for their buck.
And now here's a word from our sponsor.
Google Pest Control. Marketing, grow your business like never before. Call 770-993-0004.
Did you hear that? That is a jingle. But more than that, it is an audio logo and what I call a marketing earworm. But you know, that's a bug, that's a worm you want in your local market on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and podcasts like you're listening to right now. Yes, you should do a podcast as a PCO, but we'll talk about that another time. You want your market singing Google your name, what you do, and your phone number. Simple, but it works. If you want to cash in on this marketing bonanza, go to pestcontrolmarketingjingles.com to learn more. Or just call me, Mike Stewart, at 770-826-3662, or call Hal Coleman at 770-993-0004. And we would love to show you how to do what we call search and call advertising with earworms. And oh yeah, it works on that old-timey technology of radio and television. Why don't you call us today and learn more?
Google Pest Control Marketing, grow your business like never before. Call 770-993-0004.
Well, you know, this ties together things that we've talked about in the past so much. I mean, if you don't go the extra mile, then, you know, you're not going to build that relationship of know, like, and trust with that customer. And more importantly, if you don't tell them what you're going to do and then do it and prove you did it, and, you know, and that's telling them you did it, then you're not going to raise the value. In other words, you're doing things that other people normally don't do. So it's a very common strategy in communication and in speaking, and that's what you're essentially doing. You know, you're a representative for the company providing a service, and if you don't communicate to that customer and raise the value of what you do, then you're just a commodity. And then it's like, well, you're ripping me off because I could get it cheaper elsewhere. And that's the mindset. So you have got to be successful, keep the mindset of your customers knowing you, liking you, trusting you, and seeing you go the extra mile. And that's where the online world comes in. You know, back in the old days, you couldn't take a video camera and take pictures and shoot video of to prove, because you know you sold the polyethylene, because I can tell you right now, I know right off the bat I don't want to crawl under that crawl space and put that stuff under there. I know I don't want to do it. But there's some people who think, well, you know, there's a lot of do-it-yourselfers that think, but when they start thinking of how hard it is, and they start realizing that they don't really have the experience to do it properly and do it right, then it becomes an easy sell because you communicated that. And so the point is nowadays with iPhones and Androids, you can take pictures, you can make videos, you can show people the problems, and you can show them and prove that you're the solution. And anytime you're the solution to a problem, people will gladly give you money. When you prove you're the perfect solution to their problem, they're happy to pay you, as opposed to feeling like you're just trying to take their money and not give them anything in return. So I totally agree. Clarity to your product and your service. In fact, recently I got tires, brand new tires on the car, and they showed me a big laundry list sheet of what all I was getting before they did it. I didn't realize I was getting a 50,000-mile warranty that anything happens to that tire, they're going to fix it free. I didn't realize that they would rotate the tires for free for the life of the tire, that any time it was low on air, come by and they would fill it with air. They would balance it. I mean, I had all these extra services. You want to tell you something? After they told me what all they're going to do, then they did it, and then they handed me a sheet of paper to prove that they'll do what they say they'll do. I'm a customer for life. They went the extra mile.
Yeah, and they told you. So even if you're doing a regular monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, biannual pest control service for somebody, and it's all routine, you have everything under control, so all you're doing is going and you're reapplying a barrier, you're applying some new baits, you're swapping out baits, whatever you're doing, tell them what you're doing. Tell them exactly. Say, here's what I'm going to do today, and It should take me about 30 minutes, and then I'll check back with you before I leave. And then when you get done, say, all right, here's what I did. I went around, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. So everything should be okay. And if you have any questions or anything, call me back. But everything looks good. Now they know what they're paying you for. You can't assume that they know anything about it. So you have to tell them what you're going to do, and then do it, and then tell them what you did. And you will have far less cancellations, and you'll certainly, or they never have a cancellation from somebody that says, well, I don't know what they do. They just come out here and walk around, and I pay them money, and they leave, and so I found somebody to do it cheaper. You won't ever have to worry about that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you
anyway, Mike.
Let me tell you what I'll do. If you'll call 770-826-3662, or you'll text 770-826-3662 and give me your phone number and name, and I'll call you back or I'll text you. But here's what I do. I have 13 steps for online success that our customers and our coaching clients, the ones that implement these 13 steps, are seeing amazing results with online marketing. And then here's what else I tell you to do. Give Hal a call. And what are you going to do for people if they call you, Hal?
Well, good. If they call me, what I'm going to do is have a short conversation with them and get to know a little bit about them, build some rapport. Then I'm going to send them a questionnaire. It's about 12 questions. And they fill out that questionnaire. It's asking them all about how they market their business and what their results have been, what they're doing, and what kind of growth they have. And then they're going to send me back all the answers to those questions, and I'm going to look everything over. I'm going to make a lot of notes, and then I'm going to call them, and we're going to set up a time to spend an hour together. And we're going to go over that whole sheet of questions. And the reason I do it that way is so that when we call, we don't have to spend a whole hour of me asking them questions. I've already got the questions, and I will have already identified some really low-hanging fruit, some areas where you can just tweak your business a little bit and increase some growth really quickly. We'll pinpoint it. I'll show you exactly where it is. We'll talk about your goals and where you want to take your business, and we'll talk about getting you focused with a real clear vision. We'll identify some obstacles that are maybe holding you back and how you can overcome those obstacles. And you'll come away energized, refocused, and reinvigorated about the future of your business. And it won't cost you a penny. It won't cost you a penny, because I want to help you. And some people, once we go through that process and they get the help and they leave, I never hear from them again. But some of them really want to take it the next step. They really want to fast track things, and they want me to walk them through it. So they join my coaching program. You're certainly under no obligation to do anything if you call me. So I'd love to hear from you. Mike would love to hear from you. We're all about helping people. And, so don't hesitate. Don't be shy. Give us a call, contact us. We'd love to help you. And with that, Mike, you got anything else?
Well, I'm going to give them your phone number, 770-993-0004. That's Hal's phone number.
That's 0004.
That's what I said.
Oh, okay. I missed the third zero.
Well, all right. And then I'm 770-826-3662. In fact, if you go to pestcontrolmarketingpodcast.com, all our contact information is there. And I'm out of here because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take today and have a holiday.
Well, there you go. There you go, Mike. It's been fun as always. And, folks, as always, we appreciate you coming and joining us on these podcasts. We hope it's helpful to you. So till the next time, thanks for listening to this episode of the Pest Control Marketing Podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Pest Control Marketing Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast in iTunes and on your phones and in Stitcher on your Android. But more importantly, go to our website, pestcontrolmarketingpodcast.com. Subscribe to our email list to always be notified of new episodes. You're never going to want to miss what we got coming up next, and you never know what we're going to be able to do to help you with your pest control marketing.